with our Donegal Mountain sheep wool. Have you guys seen any sheep while you've been in Ireland? Yes. One or two? Well, we would work with all local farmers in the Donegal area. So we source all of our wool off them now this time of year, which is shearing season. So the farmers will go out and they'll shear the sheep, and then once we have the wool, we send it off to Donegal Yarn. So they wash it, treat it, and spin it into thread for us. So it all ends up on spools of yarn like you see here, or dyed different colours like you see here. So once all of that thread is ready, that's when we can start setting up our loom. So the setup process for the loom starts back here on this piece of equipment, which is called a warping bar. So this is where we set up the pattern for our weave. So every weave that we do, we could be making a different pattern. We could be doing like a herringbone pattern, or a check pattern, or even just a simple warp and weft pattern. But they're all set up differently back here. So our master weaver, Connell, he's the guy that does most of that pattern work for us. Connell has been weaving now since 1960. So he's got 65 years of hand weaving experience. He actually has his 82nd birthday now coming up in a few weeks. So watching him do this, it's like watching an artist at work. He doesn't refer to any notes or anything like that. He has all of his patterns and designs memorized off in his head over the years. So once the pattern work back here is completed, the threads are taken off, they're transferred onto this beam here at the back of the machine. The threads get wrapped around the metal roller and then pulled forward through these sleeves of needles. These are called the heddles. So on each heddle, we have roughly 300 little small needles, and we have 4 heddles in our machine. So that adds up to over 1,200 needles on our loom. And every single one of them has to be threaded by hand, one by one, in a certain order to create that pattern that we're trying to create as well. So there's absolutely no Irish coffee allowed when you're doing that. It's all about keeping a steady hand. Because if you make a mistake there, you mess up all the pattern work that was done before. So once all those needles are threaded, come around to the front of our machine, our threads get pulled forward again through this part here. This is called the sleigh. Inside the sleigh we have our flying shuttle with our bobbin and our thread wrapped around it. So that's what I use to pass my thread back and forth through the open weave. So once that shuttle's tied in, that's when I can start my hand weaving process. So when we're weaving, what we do is we start by pushing out the sleigh. So when I push out the sleigh, that opens up the weave, which gives me the space that I need then to grab this wee handle that you guys see here, and I use this to send my shuttle across. So I send the shuttle flying through to the other side, and as you folks can see, it leaves that thread there following behind. So at my feet, I have 4 pedals. Each pedal is connected to one of those sleeves of needles that I was showing you guys before. So I have to move my feet in a certain order to create that pattern we're trying to create as well. So I move my foot to the next step of the pattern, and that ties the thread in. Then I just bring the sleigh back in, and now that thread is actually woven into my cloth. So it's just like that. I just push out my sleigh, send my shuttle across, move my foot to the next step of the pattern, and then bring that sleigh back in. So you did this. So I'll throw a few shots now so you guys can see what this looks like when we're doing it at a normal speed. And if any of you guys want to take any photos or videos, feel free. I actually washed the hair this morning, so I should be okay. So I'll throw a few shots for you guys now. So as you guys can see, it's all about coordination and getting into a good rhythm. So weaving at that speed, we can make about 3 yards of fabric per hour, and it takes 90 yards to make a full roll of cloth. So from start to finish, including all of our setup and everything like that, you're talking about a week and a half for a full roll of cloth. And then from that full roll, we'll get enough material to make about 30, 35 capes, jackets, coats, depending on what it is that we're making. So once all the cloth is woven, it's taken off the loom, we steam treat it, which brings all the nice natural oils that are in the sheep's wool back up to the surface of that cloth. It softens the cloth, it also enhances the colours, and it binds the threads together. So once that's done, that's when our team up in our factory store, they get to work making all the lovely tweed garments that I want to show you guys a couple of here now really quickly. So this is one of our first ever designs that was made by our Triona Dennis. So it's our Donegal Tweed cape. So they're all hand woven cloth. They have the nice scarf and the sleeve built in, and they have the little bog buttons running down the front. So those buttons, they're made to resemble the peat turf that you guys would see in an Irish bog. Now they're one size fits all as well, and the colour is inspired by the lovely purple heather flowers that Dennis and his mum used to go out and pick and bring in and boil them down and use them to dye the tweed fabrics that they were making. So this purple heather colour is a nice wee nod to our roots and a very traditional colour that you would see here all over Donegal. Now I also wanted to show you guys a finished example of one of Donegal Tweed's most traditional patterns. So this is one of our Donegal Tweed gents jackets, but the pattern I wanted you guys to see on that one is what's called the herringbone pattern. Wow. So the herringbone pattern is supposed to represent the little bones that you would see inside of a fish. So you can see just how fine that pattern is, and why we have to be so careful when we're setting up our loom and doing our hand weaving. Now there is lots of other patterns and styles downstairs in those gents jackets. So ladies, if you fancy playing a bit of dress up, I'm pretty sure we can have every single guy in the audience looking very sharp by the time you get back on your bus today. Now I also wanted to show you guys another little style of cape that we do here. So this is called the Anne cape. So Dennis named it after his wife Anne. It's a wrap cape, so you just rest it on your shoulders like this when you're warm, and then if you get a bit cold, you just wrap it up. It falls down over your shoulder in this nice flattering way, and it'll keep you lovely and warm and dry as well. Now you can also take this side up and bring your first side back down, and then it'll fall down to the front in that nice little shape there. So lots of different ways you can wear that little Anne cape, and it's named after the owner's wife. Now I also have one of our Donegal Tweed ladies coats to show you guys. So this is the Faye Coat in the Prince of Wales check. And this piece, it was actually made famous by a lovely lady. Sarah Jessica Parker was in our store here. So she actually has a holiday home here in Donegal. So she bees in the area maybe once or twice a year. And every time she comes, she likes to pop into this town and do a little bit of shopping. But the last time she was here, she got this coat. And I'm sure you guys can imagine, it looked really good on her when she was trying it on. So she went back to New York then, and we got a lovely call a few weeks after that. It was from her producer. They wanted to ask for our permission for her to wear her new coat in a new TV show they were making, and just like that. And of course, we said yes. So now she's wearing the coat on the television, walking down the streets of New York. It was seen by millions all over the world, and it also featured in all the local newspapers back home here as well. So we're all very proud to see one of our pieces being shown off like that. And it was a lot of fun trying to explain Sex in the City to our Master Weaver colleague. Now, I also brought up a few pieces from our Celtic Jewelry collection to show you guys. So we've got a nice collection downstairs, but I just wanted to bring up a few of the most famous symbols to show you guys. So I wanted to start by showing you this little symbol here. So this is one of our Trinity Knots. So the Trinity Knot is found in the Book of Kells down in Trinity College, and it has 3 points. They stand for love, family, and friendship, and they're all intertwined to show your dedication. It's a nice little symbol, and you can find that in the Book of Kells. Now I also wanted to show you guys one of our Tree of Life pendants. So the Tree of Life It's supposed to represent your family roots growing all around the world. But this one actually has a hidden meaning as well. If you turn it up on its side, you'll see it has the map of Ireland hidden in there as well.
Oh, that's cool.
It does represent strong Irish family roots growing all around the world. So that's made by an Irish designer called Tracy Gilbert. Now I also wanted to show you guys one of our little Claddagh rings. So I'm sure some of you guys will have heard of the Claddagh before. So the heart on the ring stands for love. It has the hands, which stand for friendship, and it has the crown, which stands for loyalty. And then you wear it depending on the status of your heart. So if your heart is taken, you wear it like this, with the heart facing in. And if your heart is open, you wear it with the heart facing out. So it's a great way to know on a Saturday night who's available. But this little one is special because it was actually designed by the owner of our store, Dennis, and it's called an immigration ring. So Dennis has immigration roots himself, as do a lot of people who left the country back in those days and came back after they had made their money abroad. But he actually wanted to create a wee piece to celebrate his immigration story and anybody else with an immigration route as well. So this is what he came up with. So it's a Claddagh ring. It has 3 bands. So the 3 bands represent the past, the present and the future. And it also has the 32 diamonds, one to represent each county of Ireland. So it's a nice little one for anybody with those Irish roots. So I just wanted to show you guys a couple of those little pieces before you head back down. Now again, before you do head back down, I also wanted to say to everybody, thank you very much for coming in to see us today. Your empty glasses, just leave those down wherever you'd like. I'll get everything up for you guys afterwards. I hope everyone enjoyed their hand weaving demonstration and the Irish whiskey as well. Most importantly of all, I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your trip and everyone has a safe flight home as well. Thank you guys very much, and you can just head back downstairs there when you're